have grief or pain, but it's if you what was I saying?
Well, like there's like like, you know, if someone's in a wheelchair, they're in front of you and you're like, you can't help but do the puppy dog eyes and go, oh, I feel sorry for you. But like, don't do that because they very much want to be independent. They don't want to be like fucking you being all sensitive in front of them. But like I walk around with like a really sore heart sometimes and, you know,
people can't see
I
it.
definitely don't want people feeling sorry for me, but like you can't help it when you see someone say like Dean, you were just telling me. Wait, so we should probably introduce you. Oh no, you should. Whose podcast are we on?
We're on a bit of both, yeah.
Bit of both.
But you know when like you say, you see someone that's like hurt and you want to care for them if you're a caring person, but the person that's hurt doesn't want you to care for
fully. They're like, don't dote on me.
When my friends joked about it, that made me feel better than when people were like, because it made me feel normal again. And this comes back to when like you feel like excluding or just like making someone feel different. That's what feels, because I don't want to feel different.
100%.
If you're like in a wheelchair or quadriplegic or have a spinal cord injury, you want to be like this weird, hurt, sad, wounded boy. You want to just be normal.
The other day I was putting on makeup and I was with my friend and I was putting it on like, obviously I had the wrong shade. It was like real light and I looked like a ghost and my friend just goes, brother, are you going on a date with Chumpy tonight or something? You look like a fucking ghost. And I was like, oh my God, I love it that you can make fucked up jokes like that. Like, that's morbid as fuck.
Yeah, but that's the beauty of humour, right? Humour is a leveler.
You want your friends, like, you know, I don't know, just like being on the journey with you and knowing, like, letting you feel normal. Like, I don't know, not feeling sorry for you and going, oh, can I get you this and that and oh, you poor thing. Like, I mean, a lot of people, and I think I've learnt this in the griefy world, like, you know, a lot of people become a victim of it and, you know, compare their grief to everyone else and like someone else will come up to them and go, oh, well, you know, my partner
misery
also
thieves. That's that's the difference. I think that's what I was trying to say is like I think you can be in pain or you can suffer and they're different. You know, but I think like to your point, I think it's, you know, it's also understanding if you saw somebody in a neck brace or in a wheelchair, you want to show empathy or I'm really sorry that happened to you. I think that's also normal as well. You know, and I think you carrying that as you don't want people to acknowledge it. I don't necessarily want people to acknowledge my grief either, but it's also storytelling is so important.
Yeah.
Right, because social media and the life we're living is we're all trying to show our best foot forward, the way we look, the happy versions of ourselves. But the reality is everybody's got pain.
But I hate to be walking around like, you know, you're visually walking around with a neck brace on going, everyone feels sorry for me. And you're not doing that, but we're naturally going, oh shit, this guy, oh fuck, be careful. But like, I hate it when people treat me differently because they know my story and what you said. You said that you, like, what did you say before?
So I hadn't left the house for a while. I was like, I don't want to go out there and see people because I don't want to make people feel like, you know, when you see the reaction of people is sadness. And
Tell us what happened to you, your accident.
My accident. So
this is Dean, guys.
Hi, guys. So I was mountain biking. So I raced mountain bikes for like the last 17 years. I announced my retirement 2 years ago now, 2023. Announced my retirement. The next race I went to, I hit a tree going about 35 k's an hour, like head first. Stretched my spinal cord, shut my body off completely, like on the ground, completely paralyzed from the neck down.
You are so lucky that you're walking.
Oh trust me, I think about this every day. Because it's, even though obviously I could walk and I've made a recovery, for about 20 minutes, I was like, you've just broken your neck, you're a quadriplegic, you're never going to walk again. Life is completely different.
And how old are you? Young?
29.
Dude. Wow.
So I thought about this, and like I said, I've got my cousin Nick Dempsey who dove into his swimming pool when he was 21 and is a complete quadriplegic in a chair for the rest of his life. And
is he up here?
He's up on the Gold Coast, yeah.
Is he friends with my friend Jason?
Maybe.
Jason Apps.
I'll show you a photo afterwards.
Right.
But I remember so clearly because I was laying on the ground and the medics came over and helped me and they're like, can you move your arms? And they like lifted them up and she's like, squeeze my fingers. And I'm like trying my hardest to like squeeze her fingers and she lifts my arms and she lets go and they just drop. And I just remember laying there just like, you are so fucked. Like you are so fucked. And it was wild. I was like the angriest I've ever been. the most scared I've ever been, but then also the most at peace I've ever been. And it was these three emotions that kept like cycling in my head.
That's so interesting. What do you think brought peace?
Yeah.
Complete surrender to the situation.
Right.
Because you knew there was just nothing that you could do. Your spinal cord could just
anything.
be
nothing you could do.
It was like the ultimate, you know how people like meditate and go in on themselves and try and like shut off from everything else? I just remember I wasn't thinking about tax. I wasn't thinking about a girl. I wasn't thinking about money. I was nothing.
Nothing
It was just,
matters.
I was
you work
just,
out what matters.
I was just so present in that moment. I remember looking up and I was like, I think I could feel the sun on my skin and like the leaves, and I just remember being so present in that moment.
Right.
And then it would go back to being scared, then it would go back to being angry, and then it would go back, and they just cycled around for about 20 minutes. And then I slowly started like, I'm not feeling, but the lady was like, oh, can you move your arm? Like they kept talking to me, and like I looked over and I couldn't feel it, but my arm was like kind of moving, and that freaked me out even more because I know my cousin Nick can move his arms but can't really feel them. And I was like, again, just like this cycle of just like, oh my God, you've just like, your life is over in a way.
Wow.
And then luckily because it's like when you stretch your spinal cord, it's like to protect your body so you don't move. So it just like shuts everything down. And then
that's amazing. I actually never knew that, but I know in spinal injuries they're like, don't move.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's interesting that your body kind of does that for you.
Yeah, so it doesn't want you to do anything because it doesn't know how bad severe it is. Obviously, if I didn't have any fractures or anything, luckily.
That makes me tingle.
But if you had a fracture or something that pushes into your spinal cord, that's when if you move someone, then it could hit that and then you're fucked. So that's why your body just goes, nah, like we don't know what's wrong, but moving is not right. Yeah, not right now. So I got heli lifted out to a hospital, got scanned and all that, and they were like, you're not good, but you're good kind of thing.
Oh my God, thank
And then
fuck.
I think when I met you at the markets in Palmy, that would have been, I'm going to say maybe 3 weeks to a month or something after it had happened.
And you hadn't left the house really?
Not really. Because every time I'd see people, obviously, like literally about to retire from this sport, I had 4 days left of this like 17-year career, and I have a spinal cord injury. So obviously there was like, I'm just about to retire. Identity's kind of built in that as well of like, okay, what am I going to do now? Spinal cord injury. And then I just broken up with my girlfriend as well. So it was like this three like
triple whammy.
Big hits of like.
That's a trifecta of crap.
Yeah. So I'm like not feeling the best. And then I was like, people were trying to get me to come out and do stuff. Like Cooper was like, yeah, come to the markets, man, come hang out. So I went to the markets.
And you pushed yourself to go out and do this shit because you're like, I know I should. I got to do, like, you know.
Yeah, 100%. I know I need to go out and do stuff. And then we obviously met. And I remember you, like, you know when you can see in someone's eyes.
I'm
like,
so sorry.
No, don't be sorry. But you know when you see in someone's eyes, like, and you know they've been through shit. Like, you know they've, like, felt.
Yeah.
Like real emotion, real pain. And you looked at me and I could tell that you were just like, fuck, you're not in a good way. And it just hit me. And I was like, oh, fuck. Because it made me realize that like I am not in a good way. Yeah. Like, you know when it's funny when someone like cares for you, like that brings out more emotions than if someone's angry at me.
Yeah, it's like when you're not having a good day and someone just says, "Are you okay?"
Yeah,
and then you're like, "Don't ask me.
Yeah.
Don't hug me.
Not right now.
Don't ask me. I'm gonna break, man. Like I'm just holding it together."
Exactly. So that hit me, and then I don't want to make you feel bad, but it fucked me up for a little bit there because I was like,
shit,
fuck,
man.
I am like, this isn't good. And then I remember I kind of shut away a little bit for a while.
Fuck, I'm so sorry. What did I do? Was I just like, bro, what happened to your neck? Are you okay?
You were just caring, yeah. It was just like you were caring. That was it.
But I think that just is good though because it was like
that's what I'm saying.
It forced you to recognize.
But it also
maybe I'm not okay, and that's okay.
Different. Like
again,
you're like I'm vulnerable and fucking hurt, and I look different, and I'm like I'm the sympathy, like I'm the victim right now.
Yeah, exactly. Which I'm saying, it's like you didn't do anything wrong, but just how it hit me was just at a certain time, at a certain whatever, and then it just really I was like, fuck, I need to. But then over time, like even like Lockie and my other friends like start coming back to like the gym, even if you're just hanging out and being around people, and then
we won't be the sympathy people.
But I think that's the thing though, is like care then inspires action, right? Like my dad hates it too.
Yeah,
you know, on a walking stick and being like the provider and he hates it. But I like it that people will give him a bit of grace or let him take the car park or let him because he deserves that. Like he's in fucking pain, man.
Yeah,
you know, and I know he hates it, and I think men do experience that really differently to women maybe. I think it's a pride thing as well. But I think it forces him then to want to get better. You know, I don't want to be feeling like shit or in pain and suffering. I don't want to be that. So it's hard at the time, but it's the flip side is there's a positive, it's a call to action.
Well, you can lean into the victim.
Correct.
And
definitely.
And I don't like...
And people do,
I don't want to like make anyone that has a spinal court injury because obviously I've recovered. But at the time, I'm like, it's your ultimate get out of jail free card.
Yeah,
someone says you want to do something, I got a spinal cord injury.
Yeah.
I don't have to do shit. And
do you still experience pain now?
I still have numbness in my left arm and like neck pain and like there's nerve damage in my neck and stuff. But like,
I'm so
but
sorry.
you're still riding now. You're riding again.
This weekend actually.
You're a weapon.
Tell us about that. What are you doing?
Racing a national up in Toowoomba. So I've ridden a bike.
There you go, Ellidy. Aren't you glad you fucking pity called him out? Now he's like, I'm doing another race, bitch.
Oh,
no, but it's like,
yes. So you know what, Ammo? Were you like, I'm going to show that bitch at the Marcus and gave me that sympathy.
Yeah.
Well, because I like said,
fuck that bitch.
I said I like retired, and it's not very good to retire laying on a fucking getting stretch it off. So I'm like, I want to come back. I'm probably just going to do 2 races and then probably just retire.
Well,
again,
that's amazing.
Yeah. But it's like,
can we watch you?
He's going to film it. So.
Yes, amazing.
Can we watch
you
you
see
live
why I was
somehow?
hitting on them guys? Like, come on.
Yeah, 100.
I can show you the video after this.
Completely.
They had a GoPro on when I hit the tree.
When you had the accident?
Yeah, so I hit the tree
and also send it to Carly.
And someone picked up the GoPro and filmed me, and my like legs were over my head, and the medics had to like come and like help me out.
Oh man,
it's pretty graphic to watch.
I fucking am shivering.
But I think like the thing with doing the race is like I want to do it for me to like retire on my terms and just go and like prove to people that like you can get hit with shit and just like come back and just do it for you. And like that's it. Like, I just want to do it for me. And then if someone sees that and like, fuck, I had this go wrong, but Dean did that, and then he still came back and did something again. So
fully.
It's like
you retire on your terms.
Exactly.
Do 1 or 2 more races and then tap the fuck out.
That's the flip side of the victim mentality.
Brother. No,
you either be a victim or you're literally a champion. Like that's I think when you go through grief like you have, and all of us, you either, like you said, you're susceptible to the victim mentality and you can use it as a get out of jail free card, or you can be like, no, I'm going to fucking show you. I feel like there's not much middle ground. Like, you know, like when people meet me saying you're funny, they wouldn't know that on the other side of that is an immense amount of pain. And I'm so glad, because I could literally all the time, I'm not coming to work. Like every week something's going wrong with one of my family members. There's a card I could pull, but I'm like, no, I'm showing up because I owe it to them, I owe it to me, and I owe it to everyone else.
You deserve it.
And that's the power of storytelling, like what I was saying before. I think it's you took that, I feel shitty that this amazing girl I've just met is making me feel sad and weak, and then now you're fucking doing a big ass race.
I'm never going to do that again. When I see someone that's in a crippled state again, I'm just going to be like,
slap them on the back.
You'll be right, get up and walk, mate.
Run faster. Do better, oi. Just like whack them on the...
You guys want to watch it live?
What is this?
Yes, I want to watch it. Oh my God, stop. Della.
Because... Is that the one off the screen? Which one's
the one on YouTube?
Oh, but
this
I think
one?
is that the?
It shows the crash.
Yeah, play that.
Shut up.
Is this on the GoPro?
Oh my God, so you're only just... Oh my God.
This is when he starts going again.
Oh, this is you, yeah.
Oh my God. Ooh. I feel like I'm on a really bad virtual reality thing.
Same.
You just know it's coming.
Oh, fuck. Oh, no.
Oh, God. Oh, fuck, no.
Just the tree.
Wait, listen.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God, oh, my God. Oh, shit. Red flag.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God, look at you.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Is that your legs?
Yeah.
Oh, you... Oh, my... Okay, no, you don't want sympathy. You'll be right, mate. Toughen up.
Dude.
Love some dirt in it.
How is your body in that fucking position? And they're lifting you.
Oh.
I couldn't breathe
shut
properly.
up.
I couldn't breathe properly because my legs were like pulling on my lungs, so I'm like couldn't
my
breathe.
God.
No, that's so... And they're moving you, though.
Yeah, lady had my head, and
I thought they couldn't move you.
I think because I was in such a bad position, it's like, what are you gonna do?
Oh
like
my
he
God,
can't
fuck
stay
off.
like that.
That's...
Oh, my God, you're like a rag doll. Oh, dude.
Not it.
Can you watch that?
I couldn't for a long time, and I'm fine with it
Oh
now,
my
just because
God,
I'm like back to
dude.
normal.
Thank God you're back to normal. Well done. You must have done some serious rehab.
Well, that's one thing I was gonna say, where it's like, you know how you can become the victim.
Yeah.
The scariest
so
point.
lucky,
The scariest
bro.
point when I was recovering, when I started thinking, what's the point? Because I was going to rehab.
And then
like,
your friends are already going in hospital. Do you want to ride or die?
that's what I mean. That I needed that. That's what like my mate came and just kind of was.
Right? Like,
yeah, that's what I needed.
That's what we've been talking about.
Fuck, man.
Oh my God. How long ago was this?
You don't even look like you. Yes, so when I met you last, you had blonde hair, so I don't recognise you.
Completely different. What's this now?
You're sitting down on the bed.
Oh, when I try to walk. It was like 2 days later.
Oh. Just looks sad, bro.
Fuck you,
sorry. No. We're doing exactly what you don't want, but how do you fucking not?
Did you see his body in that mangled position? Like, it doesn't matter how flexible someone is, you can't get into that position.
Humans are fucking incredible.
Crazy, though? The best part about it is like the GoPro fell off his head.
And someone picked and just started. Yeah, because most people would go.
I wish they kept filming it, hey.
Oh, I thought, because a lot of people would go, oh, stop filming this fuck.
No, I wanted to record it all.
Yeah.
I wish they, I wish.
Again,
well, yeah.
I kind of wish like they had it and like, because.
Yeah, you want to see that whole thing.
Yeah, it would have been cool to like document it more.
Definitely,
so,
knowing where you are now.
Yeah, exactly.
I know that surgeon.
Do you actually?
What's he saying? Herwig?
I don't know.
I don't know who that is.
Wow, is this in Brizzy?
Yeah, good hands.
Shut up.
No, I'm not fucking kidding.
This surgeon dates your mate.
Oh, no, maybe not. No, definitely not.
That's America.
Wow.
Yeah, it's in West Virginia. But
you weren't
so
even
you're
home.
No, it was in
you're
America.
going to go race again for the first time this weekend.
That's incredible.
Holy dooly, dude. You're insane.
But you know what you were saying?
I feel bad that I've taken up your, like, well, obviously you don't have to be here tomorrow and shit, but, like, are you training and stuff at the moment?
A little bit. I haven't actually ridden that much, but...
Ellidy's like, geez, I asked the wrong guest talking about dating disasters. We had this genius content just sitting right there.
Oh, my God.
But you know when you were saying, like you were saying before, it's like people don't see the other side. Whenever I meet someone that's really funny, really outgoing, really just like in love with life, I'm always like, what fucked up thing?
What happened to you?
What happened to you? Yeah, because it's like
so fucking true.
You need to go through that shit. As soon as you've gone through like really heavy shit, then it's like, okay, there's this thing where it's like your roots need to touch hell so your leaves can touch heaven. And it's like you need to go through shit so then you can actually be that person.
Yeah.
Because it's a spectrum. It's like if you feel super fucked up negative emotions, you can also feel great levels of happiness.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean,
it's grab life.
There's no rainbow without the rain. Like it's just so fucking true. And I think like that is what we've lost. We've lost the power of being honest and vulnerable. Like vulnerability is the biggest strength. And I think that translates into everything. It's why I think the dating world's so bad. We're all like trying to put our best foot forward.
Younger generation doll that we were talking about before.
I really think it is.
Everyone's so much more keen to chat, tell their story, vulnerable, raw.
And they're not judging anymore, you know? We used to just be this person and that's all you are.
It's okay to be sad and unhappy and tell a bit of a shit sob story. But
that's why everybody relates to you so much. Like I said, like I knew of you before I knew you. And it was always like you could just tell that on the other side of the camera was a real person. Like for every joy you posted, it's obvious to me anyway, and I'm sure a lot of the people that adore following you, that there is on the other side of that somebody who has dragged her ass up out of bed when she didn't want to do that, when she wished Chumpy was there. Of course you fucking at every party wishing he was there with you, at every surf you go on wishing he was there with you. You know that because you talk about it too. I mean, you've written a book about it. I think like that's the fucking magic is that I agree with you. Every person I have in the close friends list or mentor list or people I look up to have had something incredibly difficult happen sometimes many times.
You get back
in their
on the
life
horse.
and they get back on the fucking horse or the bike and you're going to fucking do it again. Like that's absolutely unbelievable.
We have to get together this weekend and watch you dance.
We do.
I always say like
Fuck it.
I'm going to Sydney for a stupid hens.
Or Melbourne, who knows where your mum's. Who knows where your mum's.
I've got a private jet to Sydney.
Mum's sent you anywhere.
I
can drive in my Isuzu from Brisbane.
I actually knew I wanted to be in Toowoomba watching you. Oh, bro, I'm so proud of you.
I could talk about like pain's like it's a fuel and it's like you can fucking burn your house down with it. Or
pain is power.
Exactly. It's like how do you want to use it? Do you want to put it in your car and drive somewhere and go somewhere new, or do you want to burn your whole house down? It's like what you do with the pain.
I love that analogy. That's really good.
So I think you see people and
often people burn themselves down and they don't need to.
It's mind over matter. You do hear those crazy stories. Like, you know Josh Woody?
Yeah, I've done a podcast with him as well.
Yeah, so he's our good friend who the doctor literally had a really bad snowboard accident. He was friends with Chumpy growing up in the same town in Mansfield. He fucking landed on his head and smashed his neck and everything. Was told by the doctor he would never walk again. And he walks in front of us every day. Yeah. And it's not easy. He struggles. It's so hard. But he's like, I fucking... knew when that doctor was saying that, to me, watch me. And he said he looked at his little toe for a week straight and was just like, fucking move, you piece of shit toe. And just like, it was this mind over matter thing, and he fucking made it happen. And I'm not saying that's like gonna, you know, that's not every spinal cord injury out. That's not every spinal cord injury outcome, of course. But like, I love that it's the persistence, it's the mind over matter. To a certain degree.
Unless it is too, you don't need something as extreme as what happened to you or you, Ellidy, to have happen. But it's a good analogy to draw on. You know, I haven't had an extreme injury or I haven't lost a partner, but it's so amazing to take that as inspiration for just any knockdown.
Yeah,
you know, people can take so many things badly, and we're all going to have it. That's what I was saying. Like, you're always going to be I read this thing the other day, be no more miserable than the moment prescribes. The day of your injury, when you're told you might not walk, when you found out about Chumpy, when I found out about my family's diagnosis, like, you get to be fucking miserable those days. Yeah. And if you don't feel that, then you're masking and repressing, and that's not healthy.
Yeah, feel it, but don't hold on to it.
Feel it, but let it go.
Move through it.
Like, let it go.
Yeah,
whatever way you can.
You know that thing you were saying about like holding on, like when someone tells you can't. Like, I came up with this saying, it's like, tell me I can and I'll try. Tell me I can't and I will.
Yeah.
And it's like when someone's like, you can't do this or you can't whatever, I'm like, fucking watch this. Like,
100%. Yeah, challenge me.
He even gave me shit the other day because I said I was going to do well at this race, and he's like, oh, I think you'll get a wake up call or whatever. I went for a ride the other day, and I'm like sprinting. I was like, fuck you, Lockie.
Yeah, give it to him, Lockie.
I need that though. I need someone like doubt what you can do.
Tell me I can't find a big-handed builder. Oh, watch me. Watch me. And his religious beliefs will be aligned with mine.
Oh my God. Man, I'm just like thinking back to those stories.
Yeah, but that's fucking incredible. Well done for sharing that. That's really brave.
I know for me, I need someone to say you can't do that.
Yeah.
And then prove them.
What do you think it is that we need that though? Like, isn't it a shame that we kind of, do you know what I mean?
Like, we're all competitive.
It's awesome. It's awesome that you can harness that, but like, how do we normal
like to
folk
prove a point.
Yeah, like how do you
powerful.
then take that? Yeah, doubt.
But it's like how you use doubt.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I think fear is a big thing. Fear disables a lot of people. And I think it was like Mark Matthews, he talks about this. Yes. The only way through fear is experience. And it's like we have our daughters now, and you want to, I think like our generation, older generation tried to tell us not to make the same mistakes they did. But telling people it doesn't work the same as fucking up yourself, you know, or having the bad thing. So it's like, isn't it a shame though that you kind of need to go through it?
Yeah,
but
100%.
It's so true. The only way to dissipate fear is by experience. Like,
everyone feels fear, but you got to redirect the fear
correct.
into another type of energy.
Yeah.
It's like when I left my job, I was like a full-time worker, and the guy, when I left, my employer, he goes, "You'll never make it. You'll never work like for yourself." He said, "You'll get out and you'll be coming back."
Are you serious?
And I've been out. I haven't
It's always
worked
doubt.
in 2 years.
Oh, have you told him that?
Bye.
No, I want to like.
I can't wait for you to run into him.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna like message him, but I just want to say to him like.
Yeah,
That
don't
shit
message him.
grinds
Let
my
him see you.
gears.
He'll see you.
Oh my God, that annoys
People
me.
can be really brutal, can't they? Like,
No, but
who
people are
how
jealous.
dare people?
People don't want to see other people do well a lot of the time too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. You're only ever criticised by somebody doing less than you.
yeah, 100.
And if you really think about that, it's so fucking true. It might not be exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, but if the totality of them is they're doing less than what you're doing if
Yeah.
they're criticising.
But even you say that as well, and I think about the Josh Woods scenario when the doctor's like, "You'll never walk again." And I was like, is there some point of him saying that to try and motivate him, or is it just the fact he doesn't want to get his hopes up that he will walk again?
I think it's that the
Yeah, I
latter.
think the latter.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of spinal cord doctors always say
they have to
like,
prep, right?
They've got to prep you for the worst.
So imagine if they say you'll
But just
walk
say, like,
again
we
and the
don't
person
know.
doesn't.
Like, we don't know sounds better than you will never.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what
they
I
can
mean?
be brutal. They can
But then
be
they
brutal.
don't want to give you any glimmer of hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel. I don't know.
Hope is the worst, but the best thing.
Hope is the worst, but the best thing.
Hope is a hard one.
If you hope too much, you hope for the.
Yeah.
You get your hopes up.
But
Yeah, but hope gives you that courage to try the inspiration.
Yep.
But then like, oh,
Yeah, it's a tough one.
yeah.
even like you gotta again redirect hope into another energy. It's like that hope can be redirected. into
But
something
I agree,
Yeah,
and I think it really all boils down to love. Like, you know, it doesn't matter. I watch so much stuff on this. Like, what is it that makes a successful human being? And or like somebody says, I've had a full happy life, and it's always love. Whether that's love from a partner, from a child, or from friends. Like that's what it boils down to, and that's what would have been confronting: is that a stranger showed love when you weren't loving yourself. I would imagine the psychology
Like
of behind care or love. Yeah, like, you know,
Yeah,
it's
and
all
like-
that. And then you go, shit, like,
Yeah, we're all
I'm
just
not feeling
people.
that. Like, I'm going to have to get moving. This feels shit.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to live in that identity of that person because that person.
I don't want to be that person.
But like we said before, like it's easy to lean into that. Like I've had a shit go. This is fucked. That's fucked. Everyone is looking at me going like,
never gonna walk again.
I feel so my sorry for yourself. Like, fuck it, I'm in a chair now. Like, this is me, guys.
And like you, like I know talking to Josh and myself as well. Like if you don't keep on top of it, your body will just like go to shit. So it's like you need to constantly be working at it.
Well, it's like so many cancer survivors, you know, they're told like your prognosis is this, and it's like a lot of the young ones like our age, they're like, nah, I'm going to do this crazy treatment in Mexico and I'm going to eat X, Y, and Z and I'm not going to have sugar and I'm going to do all these other special remedies and treatments and alternative things. And like they do beat it. But I don't know if it's what they're doing or the actions of doing it or the mind, like what is it? Like,
I think a lot of it's the mindset.
mind.
You always hear about cancer patients
manifesting.
When they say, oh, you've got a terminal illness, and then they like, again, surrender and go, okay, well, this is me now. But then they're happy and they're like, let go of all this negative emotions out of their body and they start to heal. Like you hear about it all the time.
But it's so complex. Like my sisters, they have a long-term degenerative thing, right? And they don't know what's going to go first. Two of my sisters, it's their minds. One of my sisters, it's her esophagus. Another sister, it's her muscles and her legs. And it's just so complex in how to inspire them or how to deal with it. And I fucked it up so many times. Like my sister underneath me, she's cognitively incredible. She's very intelligent, amazing mum, but she's the one with the muscular. And, you know, she sits in a negative mindset, and she won't mind me saying this because it's something she grapples with. And I just struggle with misery so bad, like you're saying, you know, so I'm always like, you've got to move and it's the power of the mind. And, you know, she's sitting there going like, I can't, like, this is what the diagnosis is. Like, there's nothing I could do to stop this. Stop telling me that I'm not in pain. That's easy for you to fucking say because you're not getting put in a wheelchair with a 5-year-old. And it's so hard because
the thing
you
is,
don't know exactly how to, I know what you're saying.
Do they say to people like, do they like, you know, are they like, hey guys, to their people that they meet, I've got this disease and this is my prognosis kind of thing? Or are they just like, I won't surrender to what my life? No,
I think that's what's hard. It's almost like I was like almost relieved when my dad was on a walking stick because people go, you look good, Jerry. Yeah. Like you've got no idea what this poor bastard is grappling with to show up in this room like you are, or what my sisters are going through. So, you know, I hear what you're saying about when you met Ellidy at the market, but like also, yeah, it's so hard because it's not an obvious thing. It's like cancer. Sometimes I think like when cancer patients lose their hair, the grace in that is that people know that person's going through a tough time. And it's not to like cut slack for them all the time, but just to have appreciation for their journey. Whereas my family, you can't tell. Like their faces are starting to droop. There is that. But you can't tell. So it's kind of like you've got no idea how hard it is as our family of 5 or 4, 6.
But that comes back to what you said before is like everyone has pain. Like everyone's going through shit that you cannot see.
You never know.
So it's like
you never know.
Be more empathetic towards people. Totally. It's like someone's reacting to something. It's like you have no idea what shit they've just gone through.
But that's so interesting, right? Because you're saying, like, I'd love to unpack that because you're saying when Ellidy showed empathy, that made you sad, you know, and I get that. But empathy, like we need to be empathetic. You literally have no idea. Like I employ lots of people and like, man, I know if someone's going through a divorce, they're going to be fucked up. Like I've been there. They're not going to bring their A game. Like cut him some slack or her some slack. And in a year's time, if you show that person grace, do you know what I know is going to come back? They're going to be the best fucking person that you have ever given the chance for. You know what I mean? So I think like it's really tricky. Like the psychology of how much empathy do you show? Or I can be the opposite with my sister, particularly, where I'm like, you need to move, you need to get up, you need to walk. If you stop, your body's going to seize. But the disease is actually her muscles are dystrophying. Yeah. So she cannot. So me telling her to walk is actually like exercise is it's not possible. So I don't know then like, okay, well, be positive. You're like, yeah, well, how do you tell a 36-year-old mother of a 5-year-old to? Oh, no. Yeah, it's fucked. It's really hard to know what to do.
I think as well just asking people like how they're going and generally like
listening and caring and just like being able
like
to
a genuine are you okay? Because fuck are you okay day when people don't. It's like we don't need one day.
Cut it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you okay days?
I hate it.
The day it's like.
I don't think I have. Like, do we ever actually ask on that day how?
It's like the one day I don't ask in protest. I'm like, I'm going to fucking ask every other 364 days, but not today because you're going to have a yellow cupcake and like anyone really going through it. Like you said, they struggle
on that actual day. But like it is a beautiful concept. Yeah. But no, it definitely does take a lot, like I know a lot of people having gone through shit, like you see the way that other people respond to other incidences and the way that I'm empathetic, the way that I look at other people. If I see someone being a bitch at a cafe or being rude to me if they're serving me and they're a barista, I'm like, oh no, it's
that
not
person's
me.
Going through
that
something.
person's going through a divorce or their fucking partner's just died or something hectic's just happened to that person. I feel sorry for them. Like I'm like I want to ask them if they want a hug. That's going to make it worse. Yeah. But like I have a certain level of like I used to just be like, oh, what a fucking jerk. I hate that person. I take it personally.
Like Dean's saying, when someone's gone through stuff. You can easily identify when someone's acting a bit shit. Yeah. There's more than just the shit behaviour at play. You know, and I think it's a therapist once told me it's like traffic lights, right? Like, you know, when you're late and you're fanging to get somewhere, you just want every green light. But when you're a bit lost or like, oh shit, I've got to like wait for that red light, maybe dial a call on my Bluetooth, you want the red light. So it just really depends. You don't get the fucking red light. So, or like just, it just where you're colliding with people and what, do they want the green light or the red light is just, I've always carried that of going, so fucking true. You think green is going good, but not all the time.
Not all the time,
you know, so.
Because you would have felt this by doing the podcast and talking with more people, and it's helped me when I've done my podcast and talked to people, where you really realise what people are actually going through and give them that time to listen. Like the other day, a guy reached out to me and was like, oh, I'd like to come on. I didn't know him, but he kind of was in the same circle of friends and stuff and knew people I knew. So he came on, and the big thing he wanted to talk about was his sister. So his sister, she had a husband and his brother died in a car accident. So they were really close, and then the husband got really depressed about him dying, and then he committed suicide. He just had 2 kids with that wife, 1 and 3 at the time. Oh my God. So then, like, you can imagine that the family's just lost 2 of their kids. Yeah, right. She's just lost her husband
and the kid,
and her brother-in-law.
And she's got kids.
And she's got 2 young kids. And then he was competing overseas because he raced BMX overseas. My gosh. And then he was trying to play the father role, the male role in their lives. But then because he was away racing, he always felt like he wasn't enough. Yeah. And he just wanted to speak about like that because he'd like never talked to anyone about it. He just bottled it up. And he literally came, he's like, I just kind of want to talk about this because I've never said. And
did that help him? He would have had so much, been carrying so much weight on his shoulders.
Yeah, well, he said it was great, and he's actually, I've put some clips out, put one on TikTok and Instagram, and it's gone viral, and it's, I think just that, like all these people reaching out that are in the same situation, that have gone through that, and it's like, pain's like an adhesive as well. Like it brings people together, and then it's like, oh, you're not the only one. I've also gone through it.
Fucking person has a story.
That's what I was trying to get at. Like, and sharing it. I think when you're at the position where you're ready to share your story is it's like the last phase of the healing.
Yeah.
You know, you never fully heal from a full grief, but it's when you've gone through it, then you're in the in the trenches, and then you're starting to acknowledge it. When you can share your story is. If you're there, like, you know, it's like hurt people, but the flip side of that is healed people really do fucking heal people. And I think that's what we miss a lot of today. So that's A, incredible that he reached out to you, and B, incredible that you gave him a chance. Because a lot of people will be like, well, I don't know you.
I want to go and listen to that. We got to link that one in the show
put that in.
And then he's coming in here to record one with his sister.
Oh, is he?
About the whole thing. So it's like, and it's like that awareness of around that kind of grief and how they've dealt with it. Like,
so
because you know, you said before, like, well, on your other podcast, how you're talking about like everyone's feels so scared to be alone. Yeah. And it's like in those situations where like you're going through something that's so hard, but then you're like, so many people are also going through that same thing. So when you hear someone that's like, and it comes back to my spinal cord injury and grief and losing people, and you go, I lost someone, or I had this, and you see them get better, and you see them get even better than where they were beforehand. You go, oh fuck, I can as well.
There's the hope comes in.
Yeah, the hope comes in. It's like you can use that, and you go, fuck, they did it, so why can't I?
Yeah.
And like when you like link stories and do stories like that, when you can help people just by saying, well, I did this, and they go, okay, well, fuck, maybe I can as well.
I feel like I just like often say like about doing this podcast and everything, like I'm always like, oh, fucking the podcast is a drag, like blah, blah, blah. But it honestly is like, if I didn't have an outlet or somewhere to go speak every week, I don't like, it's like therapy. My friend came on our podcast who's had a bunch of, from miscarriage to like stillbirths and like awful like losing of babies and stuff like that. And she had like a full massive come down and like a really huge like hectic mental release, and like felt so heavy after sharing her story on the podcast, but then like a huge weight off her shoulder like weeks later because it was so mammoth sharing and then like, massive come down after it. And then now she's just like, oh, it feels like I've like let go. And so many messages come in going like of random saying, thank you for sharing, this has happened to me too, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, I fucking all of a sudden don't feel alone because none of her friends had dealt with exactly that. But all these randoms are
connected to people that had the same thing.
Yeah. And then she's like sharing like it hurts so much, but how many people, like how much talking is therapeutic but how many people it helps at the same time. Like it's just kind of like monumental. But that's the beauty of podcasts, right? Like, you know, because it is really people talking in earnest. And I think like you don't even have to go through the same thing. Like I've never, don't do sports, but like I haven't never had an injury like that. But somebody sharing is like, that's so brave. Even like I had so many reservations. Like, do I come on here and talk about silly dating stories and people are going to think I'm slutty or people, but I'm like, welcome to the modern world, man. We're all trying to make it work. In a work, find somebody. We're all trying to get laid, paid and fucking something. We're all trying to get through. We all go home to really hard shit situations.
And I don't care if somebody wants to judge me, you're not my person.
Yeah.
You know, like I think it's that. I think it's like, it's fucking cool.
Yeah, people need humour.
A fucking
correct.
And like, we need humour to get through.
So many people are alone. It's up to you whether you feel lonely or not. That's the beauty. Like, you know, I don't feel lonely. I do at times feel alone. You know, you come home, you want to debrief your day with somebody or whatever, but you know you've always got people. And even if you share your story and strangers connect with it, then you're less alone. You know what I mean? You're less alone.
And like, just think about our parents. Like they are so like, they just hold on to so much. They didn't have these outlets to share on, so they just
would be having conniptions about us talking. Honestly, like not only are they going
hates this shit, doesn't know I do it, doesn't know what the fuck a podcast is, could not deal with the fact of me talking like this on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, fucking hell.
Like this is not the norm.
No.
Like let's fucking normalize it. Like trauma, literally pretend they're sweet. The thought of going to a psychologist.
But like, look at the suicide stats,
crazy.
Man. You know, obviously, we're struggling.
Yeah,
like you know the statistics on people taking their own lives and men especially is just, you know, how do you? They just feel so. They must feel so alone.
We just have the ability to connect so much with our pain, and
that's a credit to you.
And you, Della and Dean, this has just been so.
Hit me up.
Like we honestly set out to record like completely different episodes.
Stupid dating
and
cook
then
stories.
Like, hello, Dean. Can you please share your story? This is amazing.
No, I'm glad.
Like, thank you, man.
No, all good. It's funny. There's a quote. I always thought it was from Fundamentals, and it's funny. I actually quoted Fundamentals and then shared it. And
the band?
And then the lead singer reached out and he's like, "Yeah, boy." And then I realized the quote wasn't even Fundamentals; it was Earth Boy. Afterwards, I was
Earth Boy's the best tune.
I do that shit.
But he like fully commented. He's like, "Yeah, boy," and I was like, "Fuck, it's not actually the right song." But the quote is connected to everyone I've ever known, but never so alone.
Yeah.
And I think about that. It's like so many of us, we are so
true.
connected, but we're not as well.
Yeah.
And everyone feels so alone. Like you said, with the suicide rates and everything, that's like what Coop is doing, and everyone trying to like bring
that's social media
gratitude.
too, right? Like, fuck.
Yeah.
Social
no
media
one has an
beast.
outlet. No one has like a release. Like no one can regulate their emotions or like be able to know who to talk to or how to talk.
Exactly.
And then it's like if you can be that person that not only speaks it but lives it, and you go, oh, like just be that. Like
exactly.
be that
be
thing.
Be the brave one. Like I'll tell my story.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether I'm subjected to judgment or not, or
not
people
everyone
resonate.
Can find like that platform to do it on though. Like it's easy to consume and go, oh, they're going through that and da. But like to give people that platform to speak on really fucking helps them. Like there's so many people out there, like you're bringing up other people. I'm like, I want to help them by getting them to come on and tell their story.
But I mean, both of you, like that guy reached out to you, didn't know them. You went to a dinner with me, like that chick's cooked. I'm going to get her on. And then we started talking about things like it's super credit for you guys to give people a platform. Because there'd be a lot of people like, I'm just a regular Joe, not an influencer, nothing like that. But we all have a story, right? Like I think like it is a huge credit to you two for even having like the bravery to tell your own, but letting other people tell theirs is a huge thing.
I think once you're open to that, when you're open to new people and it doesn't have to be like you've done this or you've done that, but it's like I get along with you. I think you're funny. I think you whatever you're saying is interesting to me. Yeah, let's come chat. That could help someone, even if it doesn't. We've had a cool conversation.
We're healed from it. It's great for us.
I learn every episode. Like you have so many like little nuggets of wisdom, like little one-liners that you throw out. I'm like, wow, that's fucking amazing. And then I didn't even know the story about you until you told me, and I'm part of it. I'm like, whoa. Like I just learn so much every time I speak to people, and it's unexpected. I mean, it's not unexpected, but it's so
it's deeper than you think. It's always deeper than you think.
Yeah,
but that can be seen as a good and a bad thing. But like that's one thing, you never know the impact that you have on other people. You never know that. And I always think about when I've put stuff out and sometimes people reach back out to me and say, this really helped me in this way. But you think about it, behind every message you get might be 10 people that have not said anything, but you've actually helped them.
That's right. They're the ones that have said something. That's the thing. It's the ones that just absorb it but don't comment.
Yeah, every comment you read, there's always like 20 other people thinking the same thing that are not, but they're not going to write it down.
Because I'm the same as you. Like there's had times where I've been like, fuck, should I even do the podcast? Like, it's a lot of work, it's effort, it's time, it's all that. Yeah. And there's not like heaps of return at the moment in terms of like financially and all that. But then I'll be out somewhere and someone come up to me and be like, you have really helped me. Like you have really helped me. I'm like, what is that worth? What is that interaction worth?
So much.
Because it's like you can throw so much at
that's like After Me that I made. It cost me so much money. It's not bringing in a penny. But there was a friend of a friend. She was 33 and she was dying of brain cancer, and she had an 11, 8 and 3-year-old, and she used the website and she subscribed $20 and she recorded videos for her children. Like, I'm gone, this is what mummy wants for you. She had left messages for them. She had, literally told them about like, Dad's not going to be able to talk to you about my death the way I want him to because he's hurting. Give him some grace. And like he reached out to me, and I actually went like really struggled to promote the app for a while after that, because like I actually have to be really strong to be advocating for this. And he just said like, I would have paid millions of dollars for this. Like my boys forever can hear her voice. Like think about it, like when somebody dies, their voice goes. Like when you put videos of Chumpy singing, that breaks me, because you've got like to have that.
Yeah, for
like,
my little
thank
girl
God for fucking smartphones now.
And again, our parents, they fucking had 3315s. They were playing Snake, brother.
That's right.
And like if that, they didn't have fucking. They couldn't film.
Like I've got my dad to write a letter out to Harvey and read it out, because my parents are sick, and I'm like, I know Harvey is going to grow up without you.
Yeah.
And she's so fucking close to my parents, particularly my dad, because he stepped in like a father figure. And just preparing myself for the grief of losing him is immense, but preparing her for it when she's 11, and it may be before she's even 18, like I don't know what to do.
My God.
So I'm just like, film your motherfucking voice and tell her you love her.
So many people saying, put your phone down, you film too much. I'm like, I'm also the most pleasant fucking person if you know me. However, I do fucking film all the time, annoyingly. But now people know why, because like fuck, you just never know. You just never know.
They are like, they're nuggets of gold for life. Gold.
I did a podcast with my dad, and I think one day he's not going to be here, and I might have a kid, and he can watch like me when I'm like 24 talking to my dad, and like their grandkids can see that, and it can just like,
and in a vulnerable setting too, right? Like hear what he's about. I think that's the thing. I think it's so funny that that's what I finished on, and now we're talking about that. But it's all about the fear of death, right?
When you were saying that, I've like on several podcasts, I've talked about my funeral and how I want it to be.
Really, I'm so big on it.
I'm having like the biggest party. I know where I'm going to have it. I'm like, I'm putting like,
do you know,
in my will, whatever money I have is going towards it.
I'll give you a free subscription to the app.
I'm like, everyone's going hard.
Do you know what I'm advocating now? I'm advocating living funerals so much. So my 40th, you're coming out. You're all coming out.
My birthday is really a birthday should be like a living funeral.
I think we wait. Like we have our milestone birthdays, our weddings if we get there, and then death. And then we wait for like 3 or 4 decades, if you're lucky to live that long, before we say something nice about somebody again. And I always think like, what a fucking shame that person didn't get to hear everybody talk about that, particularly the older generation talk about you. Yeah, so my 40th is like, it's a death to my 30s and a funeral in my 40s. And you got to dress in funeral couture, like bring your black lace, bitch. You're going to look so hot. Baby. And we're hiring out this massive warehouse. It's just abandoned till the next day. And we're filming everybody doing a mini eulogy for me. Because I'm fucking love being the center of attention. Like, tell me what you think.
I want to know.
I want to cry.
I want to hear this from my grave. I want to hear it now.
I'm fucking celebrating I made it to 40, man. I had friends that didn't get there. So like, it's so everyone's like, people either think it's really weird or think it's amazing. I don't give a fuck. No, I think like, we should be doing that.
But every time now when someone dies, we're like, oh, it's a celebration, not a funeral. Like, wear colours and shit. It's like, well, fucking oath.
Do it now.
Do that.
But wear black, because black's hot and I look skinny in black. Wear black. No, but every time my birthday rolls around, I'm like, I don't want to do anything. But
Like, just right now, I'm like, do something good for your next birthday.
I say, like, when people, like, they diss Valentine's Day or anniversaries, I'm like, any motherfucking excuse to celebrate in this world, take it. Yeah. Take it by the horns, man. Like, walking for the first time after you've been told you're not going to be able to. Fucking Valentine's Day, if you're lucky enough to get a root hard. Like, far out. Like, just, like, why? Why are we so worried about what people think? Like, celebrate the birthdays.
You and me doing a Galentine's together.
Galentine's. I didn't get a New Year's Eve kiss, and I'm definitely not getting a Valentine's Day kiss either, Dals. I
will not be fucking kissing you, sister.
We'll just kiss our brains.
It's so funny how you say what you like, the whole idea about like what was it called, once you die you've got all the videos and everything about what was the
my website?
What was it called?
After Me,
because I've thought about that. Cool. I haven't done it yet, but I've always wanted to record a thing that no one sees, and I'm just going to give it to someone in like the will, like play this at funeral, and I'm going to put some road. Oh my God,
we're the same brain. I feel mine. I feel mine. It starts with, yeah, I'm still here, bitches. I always love to have the last fucking word, and I'm having it from the grave. I'm back.
Just see everyone turning like backwards.
People are going to lose their fucking mind when they see my video. Yeah,
you know what I do? I'd be like, I'm actually in the back, and then get like the John Cena music, and then have like one of your mates come in like a hoodie, and everyone's like, oh, and then just like, nah, I'm fucking with this. Just make it funny. Like, make it so funny.
And this is the thing. Actually make it a celebration. I think like, that's where I want to take it. I want to take it into like After Me celebrants, where you go to a fucking warehouse, have a damn party. Like, that's mine. Mine is like, drink tequila, I've got a wooden coffin, paint like dicks and balls on it, whatever you want to do. Say you're the sickest bitch, and then cremate me, and then give it to my daughter, and she can put it wherever she wants. Yeah. You know, and I'm
getting someone to spike the punch.
Yeah, fucking
100%.
But I'm always losing. My video at my funeral is like
the drunkest at wakes. Like, I'm like,
always, because everyone's fucked up.
Yeah.
But yeah, in my video, I'm like, oh fuck, I'm gonna have so much FOMO at this party. You bitches better bend it for me. I'm just the worst.
Yeah, no,
I know. It's gonna be so awesome. I've left so much money for it.
I'm paying for this, bitches. You better drink up. I
think like the more we talk about it, like fuck, you have to normalize death, because normalizing death normalizes pain, normalizes like, you know, all of the things. However we get there, it's fucked up.
And talking.
Yeah, exactly.
And pain.
Like, live your life. Who gives a shit what
pain is power, my friends.
Because one of the things you said before when you were chatting was about how, like, when someone goes, you don't get that goodbye, and then it's like you think about what the last thing you ever said to someone.
Oh, yeah.
And I had a friend, an old teammate who was a really good friend. He passed away, and the last interaction we had was not good. Like, we were. I changed.
I really feel that.
I changed mountain biking teams, and he was upset that I changed, and we're at an after party. We were both drunk. We were like got in an argument, and then the last thing I ever said to him was, "You're a piece of shit." And then,
shut up.
And then we got like dragged apart. We weren't fighting, but we were just like yelling at each other. Yeah, and I told him like, "You're a piece of shit." Got kicked out of this bar. It was up in Cairns. It was a World Cup up there, and then literally a week later he passed away.
Oh shit.
And did he have an accident and die?
He was on a motorbike. He had a motorbike accident.
Oh my word.
So his name was Steve Smith. He was like a world champion mountain biker. And that lesson, no matter what someone has done to me and my mum a few years ago were like not on good terms and were fighting a lot. And every time I'd leave, no matter what, I'd tell her I loved her and gave her a hug, even if I was
you're fighting.
Oh my God, I'm the same. My mum and I, we fight. I'm like, look, I don't like you right now, but I fucking love you. Because I hate you, but I love you all the fucking time. Like, what happens if she gets in the car after that, or I do, and that's it.
That's really bold of you to say that, because he died and that is the last interaction you had. And
and I know he knows that I don't think he's a piece of shit, but like I had to carry that for a long time to him. Like, that is the last interaction we ever
I just had a friend drown 2 weeks before Christmas, and we had a bad... Like, he was drunk at a party. He was with my ex-husband, and there'd been an issue with my daughter. My ex-husband and I were quarreling a little bit. And when he was drunk, he felt the need to weigh in. And he was like, I just want to leave this with you. Is it better to be right or happy? And I'm like, mate, you don't know the first thing about what's going on with my ex and I. Like, I love you, brother, but why are you getting involved? Like, fuck off. And like, literally I said, fuck off. And then, you know, 2 months later, he drowned in lawn and left behind 2 kids and his partner. Yeah, you feel like shit. But you know that, like, as much as you know that they're in a place that I believe he'll be looking down. He's like, "Bitch, I know it." You're like, I was cooked. Shouldn't have said that. Yeah. But yeah, it is. It's
That's
really
what I
hard.
always say to my parents. Would you rather be right, wrong, or happy?
Oof, I hate that. That's such a passive aggressive fucking thing.
No, they took it on board.
But no, it's
my
very
dad was
true,
always
but,
my dad was always like he was, and most of the time when him and my mum would fight, he would be right. But it's like, who gives a fuck
Let
if
it
you're
go.
right? It doesn't
I know.
matter.
That's what we were talking about
get a
before.
medal? Who
Yeah.
gives a
Like people in
shit?
marriages where they're actually two
So
really good
stubborn.
fucking people
this
and
is
they've
the
got what it takes and they fight
What
over
is-
shit.
This
no
is the-
one cares later in life. Are you happy or not? Like, are you that
If he doesn't walk back
stubborn
through the door
fucker?
tomorrow, you're gonna regret fighting about.
Yeah.
Just make a decision about what you want for dinner. What the
Seriously.
fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like, let it go.
Yeah.
The progression of like, you're right, she's wrong, you push to be right, she gets upset, now you're comforting
So
her,
stupid.
now everyone's fucked off.
Yeah,
Sweet.
correct. And
We're
then it
just like,
rubs off onto everyone else.
oh, choose your
Yeah.
battles. It doesn't
Choose your
matter.
battles.
It does
Yeah.
not matter. You can let stuff go.
Very true.
Yeah.
As a lawyer, I do want to be right. Often I am, but like I am going to choose to be happy instead of right. I mean, I'm like, okay, just let it go.
Just
Let it
let
go.
it go. But also I'm right.
Right and slightly shorter than the man.
Just be my height. Pick on someone your own size.
At least he would have been at like good boob height. He could
It
have
was
got
a
the
walking
popcorn
head
and the
job,
smoke.
babe. Yeah, for sure.
Oh my god!
So you wanted that. He's closer to the target.
I need a visual on that guy.
Yeah, I'll get you a visual.
You know, all these photos are from the waist up.
Yeah, we'll blur the face
I have
out.
to pick my daughter up from daycare.
Oh yeah, we better wrap it.
Fuck, man.
It was so
about Minnie?
so good.
We'll cut that
No,
bit.
we're good.
Carly, cut that bit.
No,
I
it's
can
so
drive
good. That's
now.
awesome.
I've sat here for
You
ages.
drank a lot of not spicy water.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you're good.
yeah.
Shouldn't give me so much to
No, it wasn't
No,
that much
no,
actually.
dude, it wasn't that. It was the fucking 48
Yeah, it was
drinks
the
I
ones
drank
before.
before. No, but I'm
All right,
thrilled.
before we
yeah.
before we wrap it, I normally ask people at the end, how do you want to be remembered?
As happy
Just
and fun and warm and approachable and a safe place for people to come and talk to. That's what I want to be.
That's
Remember
very good. Mine is someone who chose joy. Choose joy. Small things, big things, like it's similar to what you're saying, but yeah, she
Joy
she
and big
chose
hands.
joy and big hands.
joy and lover of big hands.
Yeah,
Just on the tombstones, joy.
it's very
big
fucking it's very fucking rich from someone who has the stumpiest smallest hands in the world, but choose joy and big hands.
Girl, you didn't know.
No, I think that's a good thing, right?
What do you say?
fully.
Big hands and a beard.
That's so heavy.
What about you, Dean? How do you want to be
Yeah.
remembered?
As a light.
As a light.
Yeah.
As a light? Yeah,
Yeah.
you definitely are.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like
I thought
you've
about
just
that.
come on and given
Yep,
us so
fucking oath.
much light, like a whole extra nugget of wisdom.
Yeah.
I just like didn't know so much about you, and now I know.
Yeah, awesome.
Whoa, bro.
Legends.
Whoa.
You're a
Our
light.
Loco has just gotten deep. I
love it. Transition.
Del
wasn't it?
Loco, Dean, Del, L. It's like fucking Del Loco.
I love you guys. Hey, that was the best. And Lockie, you're on next.